documentary collections is a process in which the seller instructs his bank to present documents in relation to the trade due to the buyer's bank, present or release documents to the buyer against certain conditions. Documentary corrections is widely used payment method in international trade circles. Both seller bank and buyer's bank facilitate payment. Documentary corrections are less complicated and more cost-effective than letter of credit transactions. Documentary corrections are governed by uniform rules for corrections published by the International Chambers of the Commerce's bodies have been in force since 1st January 1996 and extremely well established internationally.
There are two main types of documentary correction. The first is documents against payment. The bank will release documents to the buyer upon his payment of the transaction. The second is documents against acceptance. The bank will release documents to the buyer upon his acceptance of the bill of return that undertakes to pay at the determinable future date.
3. Main parties in documentary corrections. 3.1. The principal. The seller or exporter is also known as the drawer in documentary correction. The seller or exporter will ship the goods to the buyer based on the sale contract and submit documents to his banker with a correction order for payment from the buyer. 3.2. Remitting bank. The remitting bank is the seller or exporter's bank. It will send the document to the buyer's bank by mail or courier with instruction for correction of payment. Upon receipt of payment from the buyer's bank, the remitting bank will credit the net proceeds to the seller or exporter's account. 3.3. Correcting bank and presenting bank. The correcting bank is the agent of the remitting bank in the buyer's country. Its main role is to forward the document and correction instructions to the buyer's bank. The presenting bank is the bank that presents the document to the buyer for payment for acceptance paid on the correction instructions. Upon receipt of payment from the buyer, the presenting bank will pay the net proceeds to the correcting bank, which will in turn pay the remitting bank after deducting its own charges. A correcting bank may also become the presenting bank in the buyer's country if the buyer is customer of correcting bank.
The role buyer or importer. The buyer or importer is also known as a role in documentary collection. The buyer will pay the document or accept the bill of exchange. In return, the buyer or importer will obtain the document to allow him to clear his goods.
4. Documentary collection should be used only under the following conditions. The exporter and importer have a well-established relationship. The exporter is confident that the importing country is politically and economically stable. An open account sale is considered too risky. An LC is unacceptable to the importer. 5. The documentary collection produce. The documentary collection produce involves a step-by-step exchange of documents, giving title to goods for either cost or contracted permit to pay at a later time. The diagram below illustrates a number of steps. 1. The buyer and seller agree on the term of sale of goods by A. specifying documentary collection as a mean of payment. B. Naming a collecting or presenting bank. C. Listing required documents. The exporter or seller ship the good to the importer or buyer and obtain a negotiable transport document from the shipping agent. 2. The seller prepare and present a document package to his bank consisting of A. A collection order specifying the term and condition under which the bank is to hand over document to the buyer and receive payment. B. The negotiable transport document. C. Other document. Example, insurance document, certificate of origin, inspection certificate, as required by the buyer. 3. The remitting bank sends the documentation package by mail or by carrier to the designated collecting or presenting bank in the buyer country with instructions to present them to the buyer and collect payment.
4. The collecting bank A. Reviews the documents making certain they are in conformity with the collection order. B. Notifies the buyer about the terms and conditions of the collection order. C. Renews the documents once the payment conditions have been met. 5. The buyer A. Make a cash payment by signing the draft, or if the collection order allows, sign an acceptance. B. Receives the documents and take possession of the shipment. 6. The collecting bank pays the remitting bank either with an immediate payment or at the maturity date of accepted bill of exchange. 7. The remitting bank then pays the seller.